Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday 4-H-E. Happy birthday to me. Not a single one of you knuckleheads remembered, did you? Greetings everybody, this is 480 Volts, and yes, today is my birthday. I am officially now 30 years old, and I don't look a day over 20, and I don't feel a day over 80. I'm doing good. Today we are going to be taking a look at a game that I have not really played that much, and not developed much of an opinion over, at least over the last few years, until now. Why am I choosing a game like this on my birthday? Because 480 sucks at planning things out in advance, and I would already plan to make this video, and then I was like, oh wait, my birthday's right around the corner. If I time it right, it'll fall right out on the same day. Maybe I should have chosen a game that was a little more relevant. But you know what? This is my reminder to all of you. By the time you reach the old, grizzled, hunched-over age of 30, you'll have developed the mentality that your birthday is really just another day. With that said, let's dive right into it. Welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Sonic CD is a game that I have occasionally messed around with. I've only really known about this game for 9 years now, and am not familiar with it as some of Sonic's other titles. I've actually heard that this is considered by a fair percentage of fans to be one of the more popular games of Sonic's past. Well, let's take a look at the history. The 1991 release of Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game in the Sonic series, was a major commercial success and positioned SEGA as Nintendo's main rival in the console market. However, lead programmer Yuji Naka had grown dissatisfied with SEGA's rigid corporate policies and moved with several members of Sonic Team to the United States to develop Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with the Sega Technical Institute. At the same time, Sega was planning to release the SEGA CD add-on for the Sega Genesis and wanted a Sonic sequel that would demonstrate its more advanced features. Thus, in Japan, the remaining members of Sonic Team began to develop Sonic CD with Sonic's character designer Naoto Oshima being the game's main director. The game was released in 1993 on the said Sega CD. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Sega CD, it was basically an add-on to the Sega Mega Drive featuring CD-ROM capabilities and 32-bit graphics. Sonic CD was designed to be a successor to the original Sonic 1 rather than a sequel to the second game. As a result, this game feels more like Sonic 1 than Sonic 2. In fact, very few elements from Sonic 2 remain in this game. This game basically took everything that Sonic 2 had made better from the first game and threw them out the window. This is understandable considering both games were being developed at virtually the same time, but since Sonic 2 was released before this game, it does things that catch me off guard. We're back to 3 acts now instead of 2, only this time the acts are now called zones. I guess what we used to call zones are now called stages? Thanks guys, changing something that we'd already gotten used to. Sonic's model is the same one used in the first game. Tails is completely absent as well. There are 7 collectible emeralds this time, but they're a completely different type of emerald called Time Stones, and are not in no way never nothing like the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic does have his trusty spin dash from Sonic 2, but they managed to botch that up. In Sonic 2, all you had to do was hold the down button, then tap the jump button, and let go of the down button and Sonic would speed across the ground. Now you must hold the down button and hold the jump button. Tapping the jump button doesn't work, and you mustn't let up on the jump button until Sonic has completely charged up, as indicated by the sound effect. Sonic has a new move this time around called the Super Peel Out. Hold the up button and jump button, let Sonic charge up, and let loose, and Sonic will tear across the screen, this time on his own 2 feet, rather than rolling. I think it's safe to say that this is where Sonic Team got the idea for the boost feature in some of the later games. The problem with the peel out is that it leaves you vulnerable to enemies. The advantage is that as long as you continue to hold the button in the direction in which you are running, Sonic will maintain his top speed, rather than losing momentum as he does with the spin dash. Now, one of Sonic CD's best features is, in my opinion, the story. The story is a little hard to follow without the use of the internet, even with the game's lovely animated cutscenes, so I'll give you the lowdown. Sonic journeys to a place called Never Lake, where an extraterrestrial body, Little Planet, appears on the last month of every year. Sonic's nemesis, Dr. Robotnik, has tethered the planet to a mountain and begun transforming it into a giant fortress with his robot army. Killing Badniks this time around releases flowers instead of woodland creatures, so I guess Robotnik is using the flora and fauna of Little Planet to power his robots. Events unfold further as you progress throughout the game. In the second stage, Sonic is followed by a cute little hedgehog girl who was inspired by Princess Sally from Sonic Saturday AM, even though Princess Sally was not a hedgehog, and was codenamed Rosie the Rascal. She would later be redesigned and remodeled into the always lovable, if not sometimes annoying, Amy Rose. After following Sonic around a bit, Amy is captured and kidnapped by, holy cow, another robot Sonic, known as Metal Sonic, in an attempt to lure Sonic into the clutches of Dr. Robotnik. The gameplay is very similar to previous Sonic games. Run as fast as you can to the end of each stage, navigating tricky platforming sections and defeating Badniks. Zone 3 of each stage is a short section that features a boss fight with Dr. Robotnik, after which you break open a capsule that releases more flowers into the stage. The boss fight of the second to last stage, Stardust Speedway, is a race against Metal Sonic across a fast-paced obstacle course, the winner of which reaches Amy Rose before being caught by Robotnik's one-hit kill laser beam of death. No, seriously, this thing kills you even if you're holding rings. After the final fight with Robotnik, Amy rushes to greet Sonic as Robotnik's laboratory collapses in flames. The game has two endings depending on how you play. If you simply make it to the end of each zone and defeat Dr. Robotnik, the ending cutscene will show Sonic rushing Amy to safety, and probably begging her to leave him alone, and breaks the chains holding Little Planet, thus setting it free. However, Robotnik uses the Time Stones to alter the past and recaptures Little Planet. This is the bad ending. And with that, I think we should take a moment to talk about time travel. Throughout the game, you will find signposts labeled past or future. If you touch one of these signs and run as fast as you can for several seconds without slowing down, presumably reaching 88 miles per hour, Sonic will be transported to a different point in time. When you travel into the past, the designs and colors of the stages reflect an almost prehistoric era, yet the layouts remain, for the most part, the same. So what does the future look like? It's horrible. The grass is withered, the environments are bleak and lifeless, and the world is completely overrun by Robotnik's robots and machinery, which, ironically enough, don't seem to be working very well at all. Remember when I said that Robotnik was using the flora and fauna to power his robots? In the future, his robots have sucked all the life out of this world and almost nothing organic remains, so the robots can't function for too much longer. You can finish the zone in any time, but Zone 3 always takes place in the future. In the present, in Zone 1 and 2, you can encounter a broken down machine. This machine was set up in the past to begin extraction of all life on Little Planet. In the past, you can find the machine in the same location, but now it is working. Destroy it and all of the Badniks of that zone will be destroyed, and anytime you travel into the future of this zone, the environments will be bright and colorful with plants and flowers being powered by machines, rather than being hunted and destroyed by machines. Destroy this machine in Zone 1 and 2 of every single stage, and the ending will show Little Planet being restored to its original state, with Robotnik not being able to do a darn thing about it. This is the good ending. In the past, you can also encounter a holographic projection of Metal Sonic. I'm not entirely certain what this does, but when I destroyed it, I noticed flickies, the standard woodland birds of the Sonic world, flying in various parts of the stage. I guess Metal Sonic was imprisoning flickies for future Badniks of Robotnik's army. An alternative way to acquire the good ending is to complete the special stages. Special stages are unlocked as they were in Sonic 1. Carry at least 50 rings to the end of Zone 1 or 2, and jump into the giant ring. The special stages themselves are quite tricky. Sonic runs through a sandbox-style arena in Mode 7, filled with UFOs, and your goal is to destroy all of the UFOs before the time runs out. The ground is filled with speed boosters and bounce pads which can help you, but running on grass slows Sonic down, wasting your time, and running on water drains the timer down very quickly. Whenever the timer reaches 20 seconds, a blue UFO appears near the center of the arena. Destroying this will add several seconds to the clock. And when it reaches 20 again, the blue UFO will appear. Again. So you can technically stay in the special stage forever, provided you hit the blue UFO every time. Destroy all the normal UFOs, and you will receive a time stone.
Collect all 7 time stones, and the future will always be a good future, and the ending will be the good ending. I guess Robotnik can't use the time stones to alter history if you're holding them. I love how deep and involved this storyline is. I love that your actions determine the outcome. I love the race with Metal Sonic, and I've always loved the concept of time travel, although I think everyone would agree that it doesn't always work for Sonic. By the way, about the time stones. Stones of power that spell extinction for all life if in the hands of the villain. Where have I heard that recently? If I have anything to complain about this game, it's that the level designs and enemy placements are kinda messy and require a lot of memorization. I also don't like how anticlimactic the final boss fight is. Also, this is just a little thing, but in Tidal Tempest, a water-based stage, where's the drowning music? You know, that thing in both Sonic 1 and 2 that I completely forgot to talk about? When you're underwater and running out of air in the first 2 games, this music would play that did a really good job of instilling the feeling of, hurry up, you're gonna die, in the player. In this game, all we get is... That doesn't give me the motivation to get my spiky butt out of water as quick as I can like the previous 2 games did. Speaking of sound... This is by no means a deal breaker, and Sonic Team would occasionally use this sound in other games, so I have gotten used to it over the years, but still, the original jumping sound was easier on the ears. Graphically, this game is beautiful. The normal stage backgrounds aren't too special, just brighter and more colorful, but the backgrounds for the special stages are just breathtaking. This is where the CD-ROM's 32-bit graphics of the SEGA CD really paid off. Whoa, okay. That's a bit much. That's a little. That doesn't. I can't. This game has 2 soundtracks, one for the Japanese port and one for the North American port. I've never sat down and gave the Japanese soundtrack a listen, so I have no opinion on it, except for the music in the past, which is the same in both ports. As for the American soundtrack, it's amazing. It was composed and produced by Spencer Nilsson, David Young, and Mark Crew. The soundtrack features electronic drums and synthesizers, as well as electric guitars and real vocals provided by the female jazz trio Pistache, I think is how you say it. The music does have a sort of late 80s, early 90s feel, and is just super atmospheric and nostalgic to me. I love how some of the music that plays in the present is remixed in the future. In most cases, the bad future music is dark and depraved, while the music that plays in the good future is intriguing and filled with hope and purity. I think Stardust Speedway Good Future is one of the most underrated tunes in the game. Most everyone is drawn to the bad future music, and for good reason. Let's face it, that track is awesome. But if you can't be bothered to unlock the good future for this stage, the let's go kick some butt music will be much more fitting for the race against Metal Sonic in my opinion. I also don't mind aimlessly wandering around in the special stages, if only because of the music. Here are my biggest complaints regarding the soundtrack. 1. The end of level music is just way too long for its own good. 2. The invincibility music is kinda bland. It's not bad, but listen to it for a minute. Now listen to the Speed Shoes music. Holy mackerel, that is awesome! Except I don't need to get that hyped for Speed Shoes. This music should play for invincibility. 3. The music that plays in the final zone, Metallic Madness, doesn't sound very climactic to me. This is a very small complaint, as it does still sound foreboding at least. All complaints aside, major props to the soundtrack. I love it. In conclusion, I don't think this game is nearly as great as some people make it out to be, but make no mistake, there is a lot to love about it. And I would say that Sonic CD, well, not quite, but I do really like this game.
Thank you for watching my review of Sonic CD. Thank you for joining me on my birthday. Real quick before I end the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the Mozzers, I think is how you say their username. It's the Mosley family. I hope I'm allowed to say their last name. They are a family vlogging channel. They post videos with their family shenanigans with their kids and all that. It's good, wholesome family entertainment. It's really, really charming. But I want to give a special shout out to them and their latest video because I actually made their background music for their latest video. And maybe they'll keep using it in their future videos. You can check them out. The link is in the description. They are the Mozzers. You know, if you want background music of your own, original background music, you let me know. You let 480 know, and 480 will fix you up. I guess I'll just end this video by showing you the clip of Sonic standing in water holding a time stone.